All right, so today, if you guys have been following me on Instagram or you pay any little bit of attention, if you're a gear nerd, kind of like me, you probably might have noticed that I've been switching back to the Thunders. But not only that, I switched to the inverted Kingpin Thunders. Now, I could talk forever about why I switched back to the Thunders, and we'll save that for another video. But for right now, basically, I just kind of wanted to detail and give kind of my impressions on the inverted Kingpin Thunders. Now, first things first, if you guys remember way back when I did the Indie inverted Kingpin base plates, I really liked them. And I've always been a fan of inverted Kingpins. In fact, my first set of trucks was a pair of Grind Kings, like way back in the day. And I love inverted Kingpins. I wish that more companies would just adopt that as their main Kingpin style. I know a lot of the indies, if you get them in the mids, they come as an inverted Kingpin just by themselves. But I wish there was a little bit more options on that front from every brand, not just the handful that I'm gonna name. Anyway, so I was on Ventures for a really long time, and I just decided I wasn't happy with my flat ground. Thunder came out with the inverted Kingpin, so I figured, if any time's the time to switch, now's the time, because I really like the way Thunders grind and slide, as well as I feel like it kind of gives me a better flat ground base to go off of. I know I decided other than that, but I think just over time, that's just kind of where my preferences have lied, I guess is a good way to put that. But anyway, that being said, the way the Thunders rode were great. I loved them through and through. We did do a lot of street skating. In fact, most of the tricks that I did were done. Most of the tricks that I did in the video that we put up on Thick Boy Media was actually done with that set of trucks. But basically, let's just get right into it. So basically, I snapped the Kingpin on these inverted Kingpins. Now, this is not an unusual issue to have. I mean, I've snapped Kingpins before, I've broke hangers before. Sometimes things just happen inside of skateboarding, and you know, considering that these are hollow lights, meaning the Kingpin's hollow and the axle itself is hollow, it's kind of bound to happen with some of these things. I've kind of gone off on a tangent in the past about hollow axles, but basically I don't like hollow axles just simply because if you hit the ground just right, it'll mushroom everything out. It makes that truck completely useless. You can't get anything on or off of it unless you do some serious grinder work and rethreading, and it's just not worth it a lot of the time. A lot of the time it's worth it to just go back and buy a completely new set and call it a day. But basically, I bought these trucks, I skated them for a few weeks, I really liked them, and you know, I'm actually kind of happy that they broke on me, because then I'm about to have this section in the video talking about the warranty and everything. So, beautiful thing about this is, yes, they may have snapped. This doesn't speak to strength of the truck particularly. It could be a lot of different reasons that it snapped. It could be an imperfection in the bolt, could be any number of reasons why this bolt snapped. But the funny thing was, it snapped. It had to have had a hairline crack before I went over to my buddy's house to skate. But I went over there and I was just we were skating this like little ledge, and I popped into a nose slide and my hanger just falls off. It's kind of interesting. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I can't really think of any particular trick that maybe would have caused said hairline fracture, but I'm not totally sure. Anyway, so I snapped the stuff. I'm gonna slap all of the conversation threads up on the screen, but basically I messaged him. He got back to me, said, oh yeah, they're gonna do it. I had to send him some pictures. It wasn't that big of a deal. They shipped it out. He did tell me that they didn't have any more of the inverted Kingpins, but he was gonna send me a regular pair of Thunders, which is what I got right here. These were the brand new set of Thunders they sent me, and he also said something about sending me a brand new pair of inverts when they get them back in stock. We'll see if that ever happens. I'll leave a pinned comment or something with an update here in a little bit. I'll give it a little while. If I see, you know, some shipments or something at some skate shops I follow come in and they have inverted Kingpins, then I'll make an update and I'll see where that goes. I don't know if I have to hit them up or what's gonna happen, but I would hope that I would end up on a list. I mean, nothing bums me out more about this than I bought the inverted Kingpins to have the inverted Kingpins. So if they break on me and they don't have a replacement, what am I supposed to do about that? Because, I mean, I like the regular Thunders, I like the way they skate, but I like inverts because it makes for a lot more clearance and, you know, things like that. But the warranty process was really painless. They got it all together, they got all of my information, they shipped it out, it was here in about a week, and it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I haven't switched over to those trucks yet because I run in my old pair of Thunders at the moment, and I have another set of trucks. God, I'm going through my truck madness again. But lots of different things, and this is kind of gonna lead into a discussion about trucks and truck hardware, because this is, I think, a solution that would have solved all of the problems, and it's kind of a bummer. Now, the whole time I've been talking, you may have noticed that I do have a bolt in these trucks, and that's why they are put together, right? Anyway, that's why they were put together, and I got this little sucker. Now, the funny thing that people don't realize about skate hardware is that they are all just general use bolts a lot of the time. These ones are particularly special because they're hollowed out. There is some proprietary hardware for some for trucks, considering the hollow kingpin, the Allen cap, as well as, like, you know, the sleeve and like how long the thread pitch is. This bolt is a little bit longer than this one. In fact, looking at this thing now, I probably should have grinded it down a little bit. But when you're in a pinch, you can just go to a hardware store and buy a new Kingpin. Now, this is a grade 8 bolt. This thing is tough. I don't think I'd be able to snap this with a skateboard if I tried. But I also got these hex caps that are pretty similar, but I decided not to go with these just simply because this sheathing right here, this shank, is not threaded, so it won't eat into the bushing as bad. Unintentionally, since I had to find a pair of trucks to skate for a few days while I was trying to figure out what was going on, I kind of found an upgrade for the inverted Kingpins. Just go to a hardware store and get whatever bolt size it is. I can't quite remember the size, but you know, it's really simple. You can either walk into a hardware store with the old bolt and ask them, I need something that's just like this, and they'll have it identified and give you something that will work relatively quickly. And the beautiful part about it is it also switches it back to a hex cap, which is really cool because then I could just take it to a bench grinder and round it out a little bit, and it would be essentially the exact same thing but stronger. Now, you do get the added weight because it's not hollow, but I think if you're the kind of person that snaps Kingpins a lot, or if you're in a pinch, you're not really gonna care. If we're out skating street that day and I go to do a trick and I bust my trucks, first spot of the day, you can just go to a hardware store and pick up something that will at least work. You don't have to go to a skate shop and buy a whole new set of trucks. It's really surprising to me that they don't have a non-hollow variant of these trucks. I would actually kind of like to see a non-hollow variant, as well as it kind of makes me question the grade of, I don't even know if it's steel. It also kind of makes me question the grade of the bolt that we're using. If I had to take a guess, this is probably like a grade 2, maybe a grade 5 bolt. Most of the time grade 5s, in my experience, are black, but it's kind of interesting that they don't have like an upgraded Kingpin setup that you can get just in a hardware package, or even just replacement Kingpins in general. And this is where we go and we talk about bushings and stuff. Now, Thunder actually does a pretty good job of actually making products to rebuild their skate trucks. I mean, they have a whole kit that you can buy that comes with bushings, washers, new nuts all around. But why, my question is why didn't it exist with the Thunder inverted Kingpins? I want to know why you can't get a new Kingpin bolt from your skate shop that sells, you know, bushing kits and things. Another thing, skate shops should carry more bushing kits, because I feel like every time I'm looking for bushings, I have to buy them online and it sucks. But this isn't just a Thunder problem. This is a Venture problem, this is an Indie problem, this is an everybody problem. In fact, I think you can buy brand new Indie base plates on their website. It doesn't really mean much if they're not carried locally to me, because a lot of the time when I need something like that, I'm not just like sitting at home and being like, oh, I need new bushings, or I need new this. No, I'm out skating and I'm like, fuck, my bushings feel like shit. Oh, my base plate will literally cut me, right? I actually grinded this one down a little bit so I wouldn't. But that all being said, I wish that trucks and truck rebuild kits and just spare parts for trucks were more widely available. Just simply from a consumer standpoint, I understand why they do it. They do it so they can make their money. But at the same time, I mean, trucks, they should be one of the trucks should be like something that you replace the absolute least on your skateboard. If anything, you should be able to reuse the hanger into perpetuity. Until this thing is clear down at the axle, you should be able to reuse it. I show you all these trucks that have barely been touched, but a lot of that is because I have a lot of truck madness. I switch my stuff around a lot, but kind of bummed. I wish the inverted kingpins would have lasted me longer, as well as I wish I was able to keep them, because I have to actually send them back because they want them back probably to see, you know, if they can see what caused this stuff to break or whatever the issue may be, but kind of bummed. So I do have to send them back, but they did give me a fresh set of Thunders that I can use, as well as they said they were gonna send me a new set of inverts when they get done. We'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'll keep you guys updated on that. But all in all, I really liked the Thunder inverts, and my experience with getting it warranted was very, very easy. I have been recognized, and I was sent a box from Bones before from this YouTube channel. He didn't necessarily treat me any kind of special way. They didn't send anything extra in the box. It was just the trucks, some stickers, and a return label for these trucks that I gotta send back. Hyped to at least got to try them for a little bit. I think I was only on them for about 2 weeks, maybe 3. But all in all, I'm not super disappointed. I wish I could skate them longer, but one thing that I wish they would do is either offer a non-hollow Kingpin version or at least replacement Kingpins, because I can't understand why that wasn't something that they thought of immediately. Like when the Kingpins pressed into the base plate, it's a lot stronger, and you know, if it breaks, you have to replace the whole base plate, which is why it's insane to me that new base plates are kind of hard to come by. Unless they're indies. Kind of surprising to me that they don't offer an inverted kingpin bolt pack that comes with 2 kingpins for $10 or whatever, and you can just pick it up at your local skate shop to fix your trucks, because in my head that would be the weak point of the truck, I would guess. Because it's not a super far stretch, because I mean, considering that these are the slappies that I've never even touched, but they have an inverted kingpin setup that's not hollow. Indies inverted kingpins are not hollow. I think that if you're looking for an inverted kingpin and you like the Thunder geometry, it's a great truck to get. I think I might have just got a bunk pair that's off. And the warranty, as we know now, is actually pretty easy to get with, which is really cool. I'm actually very appreciative that the warranty process is pretty painless. I was expecting it to be kind of a pain in the ass, because I have had bad experiences with skate company warranty stuff. Anyway, like I said, I'll keep you guys updated on whether or not they send me a brand new pair of inverts. I would recommend them for people that like inverted kingpins. If you do lots of Smiths, Feebles, stuff like that, dragging your kingpin along the ledge or the rail, you'll probably really, really like them. I like them for the extra convenience, as well as, I've kind of detailed this in my previous video. If you haven't watched that, go watch it. But basically, it makes it so that you never run into an issue where you have no nut left and you can't adjust or take it out with ease. It turns into a joke, and you end up needing a pair of pliers, and you ruin the bolt, and then you have to rethread the kingpin. It's a joke. There's a lot of reasons why I think that this lock nut styled kingpin is worse than an inverted kingpin. And inverted kingpins were a lot more common way back in the day, and I don't understand why we reverted back and went to this style. I would imagine to cut costs or something, but I think that this is truly a better kingpin in my opinion. Some people like the drag, some people think it adds to the trick. I don't necessarily mind it so much, and a lot of the time when I pop into something, I'd prefer not to stick. So yeah, in closing, the inverted Thunders are great. I wish they would offer rebuild kits specifically for the inverts, because my whole situation could have been remedied with, oh yeah, we'll send you a bolt pack, and they just send me out a bolt pack, and it would have been over, and I wouldn't even, they wouldn't have to worry about sending me a brand new set when they come back in stock or anything like that. Rebuild kits need to be carried by shops more frequently, as well as more widely available for other brands of trucks. Same with hardware kits and base plates. Depending on how the truck is built, these are all things that should be considered, as well as maybe even some upgraded bolt packages would be sweet, because I mean, I got them from a hardware store and they were like $2. a piece, and honestly, these would probably outlast that truck. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't speak to durability a whole lot. I was only on them for like 3 weeks, but considering the Kingpin thing, I'm gonna hold that as a reserved assumption, because if they do send me a brand new set of inverted Kingpins, I'll give them a shot again and see what happens. But as of right now, I would say they're probably just as durable as a regular set of Thunders, aside from my Kingpin issue, but I also could have had a one-off issue. So this really shouldn't affect whether or not you might think about buying these. If you like inverts and you like Thunder geometry, I would go for it. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Lots of nitpicky random information. If you haven't seen any of my other truck nerd videos, go check out one of them that I link up in the corner. And make sure to like and sub. Helps out the channel a lot. I'll see you guys in the next one.